becoming bored of it and so on. So he has really dedicated his life to this work of ensuring that there is integrity. So we all know him in this country. So we are confident that this period needed somebody like him to assist in terms of also, from the point of view of Saps, things that need to be done from a police management perspective. He will understand what needs to be done and advise cabinet appropriately and so on. He will understand the demarcations between the police and his role as a minister, and how to support the police to ensure policy gets implemented. I had somebody complaining sometimes back, but he must have a podcast interview with me. That person, I won't mention, so that I can clarify him about other things. So, Mawande, I'm not going to talk about Brown Mokhodzi and his membership, CR17 and all of that. There are many chance takers in South Africa who clad our regalia and then project themselves as ANC members and all of that. They get implicated from time to time in many other things. So I don't want to prejudice anyone and claim here that he's not a member of the ANC, because he's going to say, I'm accused about this and that, I didn't have a right. SG went to a press conference and found me guilty. So if there has to be processes in the ANC that must follow, we must not find ourselves on the wrong side, and we must allow those processes to kick in. If he's a member of the ANC as he claims, he will be subjected. That's all I can explain to you, to the processes of the ANC of integrity processes, and the Integrity Commission will convene him to appear before it as a member of the ANC. I don't want to talk about Vusi Matlala.
Do you know him, Mr. Brown Mokhodzi?
Brian Mokhodzi, I don't know him. But members of the ANC are many. Maybe yourself, you are a member, so I don't know. And if somebody claims and then he says, okay, and then he will say, but SG were together in the PGM last week, and I even took a picture with you, and then he shows you after this press conference. What am I going to say? You're going to say I'm a liar. No, I can't denounce his membership of the ANC here. I can't.
No, but I'm saying, have you interacted with him?
No, I've not interacted with him. I've not interacted with him, and so on. If I interacted with him, it will be in the ANC processes of the organization, of which that is possible. So if you attend the General Council, you attend this and that meeting, it is possible. Goke. No, I was explaining that Mkhunu was not a subject, but a subject that involved him was our discussion yesterday, among others. That he was not a subject as a person, of course. He was not a subject per se, but a subject that involves him in relation to the decisions that have been taken by the Working Committee and the ANC. In as far as how it affects him, he was part of that discussion. So it is that discussion that we say today we support the pronouncements of the President and the establishment of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry, and we urge everybody to support that particular process, because it will take us to understanding and getting into the substance of the issues raised by General Mkhwanazi. So that's the first thing in relation to that. He did not attend the meeting because he said because of leave of absence. I will explain to him that leave of absence does not affect the ANC. Okay? It doesn't. And his political standing in the ANC and all of that. I'll come to the question because you raise it in a different context later on. Lunga. I think it's you or something. And then, okay, what happens to Shadrach? As far as the terms of reference of that commission are concerned, everyone is going to be affected. I don't want to get into the details of who suspend who and put who on in relation to the president and the police, because the police environment is regulated, because you need to follow Saps Act to execute what needs to happen in Saps, and that falls squarely to the minister appointed and the general has got particular powers. So I hear from you now that in this press conference that Sibia has been put on
As the requested.
huh? Yeah, so I hear it here that those will be Saps processes. And then in terms of this commission will also have a right to execute that mandate in as far as individuals are concerned. NEC is postponed because of Mandela Day. No, it's not postponed because of Mandela Day. It's postponed because NEC said we need more time. We need more time to discuss the state of the GNU, to discuss the economy, to discuss a reconfiguration of the alliance, to finalize the processes. By the way, next week we've got the Liberation Movement Summit. All the liberation movements in Southern Africa will be here, led by their presidents. So it's a big summit we've been working on over time and so on. So the NEC could have easily taken place next week, but we are going to August, and August we've got Women's Month, and then we must celebrate the anniversary and commemorate the 9th of August as the ANC and joining everybody. So, of course, Mandela Day, we will be doing something, even if the NEC was taking place. We are expected as individuals to contribute. This is a global call, global icon. Individually, we are asked to do something for 67 minutes. Even if there was NEC meeting, everyone would have started first with the 67 minutes. Not as a collective, but individual contribution to humanity. What you do. Others are not doing it for 67 minutes. They do it daily. 67 minutes, they will just be showcasing what they do. So I know for a fact that on the 18th, I'll be somewhere doing something for 67 minutes. Education Ministry, we have said, and we want to repeat again, when a minister is charged by any individual or parliament about lying, there are processes in parliament that need to be followed. And that is called the Ethics Committee, where you've got to prove there that this minister came here and then lied to parliament, and then on the basis of that we come with the following recommendations. Now, we have said that the minister have erred and the minister have worked to correct what she did around the sitters. And what is that? The criticism around the appointment, that these are political people aligned to the ANC, and then that was the first criticism, and that this must then be reviewed. The minister reviewed that, apologized, and then accepted, and re-advertised the process, meaning rerun the process. That's what she have done. She have appeared before the portfolio committee around issues of now the appointment of what? The committee that she selected to appoint these chairpersons. Now, in terms of the National Skills Act, from the point of legality, there is nothing that requires the minister to establish a committee to appoint chairpersons of committees of the sitters. The minister did that for good governance and accountability. But she could do that without any committee. She's now accused about lying in relation to members of the committee and all of that, which involved a senior respectable advocate in our country. And the minister again responded to that matter. That I shouldn't have mentioned this. The advocate indeed did not accept to be party to this. And we add on that part. And that is it. Now, there are parties that have taken the minister to the ethics, so they must then level up and decide, in terms of their accusations of the minister lying, what is the charge of lying before Parliament on these particular matters. There are about 2 people who have made allegations to the portfolio committee or to the media or anywhere else through WhatsApp groups and all of that, and said that they were not party to the committee. But what the minister said before the committee is that these are the people who were part of this. Some of these people are DDGs in the department, including her own advisors or something like that. But she revealed those names. And one was an advocate who never took up the position, and the advocate clarified the matter, even in a public letter, that I was never party to this. And the minister apologized and said I had and accepted on this particular matter. So the ethics must preside over that matter and Parliament and make a determination on this issue as to if they charge that the minister lied, how did she lie, what she lied about. Now, should the ethics committee arrive at a decision about the minister, then that will then means that the executive and the standing of the minister is brought into question, and they will make recommendations to the president and everyone else what needs to happen in relation to that minister. That's how it happens. Like all ministers, even myself, I was a minister, I was subjected to the same processes. I went to the public protector, I went to the executive, and then that is it, ethics committee and so on various matters. Now, any other process that is defined outside that, we wouldn't know. And you simply can make a charge unsubstantiated and say that the person have committed the following, and then you need to pursue that matter in the context of Parliament and make a decision with regard to that. So these rumblings, Goge, must be addressed in Parliament on the charge of minister lying. But in relation to the process, the minister have restarted this thing and have admitted, and the process have since been restarted on the question of the sitters. Lunga, even myself and Matlengi, we are allies of the president. All ANC members are allies of the president. So are you going to say that if I do something wrong, the president must put a blind what? To the blind. Yeah, to what I'm doing? I think it's unfair, that question. Because the president have acted. Yes, the president have taken an oath at a big inauguration there at the Union Building. So you are basically now saying the president has broken the oath, he failed to act on misdemeanor and everything that is alleged. And in that sense, you bring into question the oath of the president. So I wouldn't say that. Who becomes your ally and supported you in the politics of the ANC doesn't matter when it comes to what confronts you. Presidents have taken decisions against ministers irrespective of where you stood with him at a particular point. You will even go home and cry on your own and say, It doesn't matter. If you are wrong, you are wrong. It doesn't matter where you stood in the politics of the ANC. There you are serving the country, which is what President Ramaphosa have done. If he was, according to what you say, political alignment in the ANC, you would have said, hey, man, because because he understands that the country comes first. He understands that. It doesn't matter here in the ANC what tomorrow you can say. There are people in the ANC who wouldn't like you because you have acted on the right side of the law and all of that. But when we are here, and when he's here, the president at Luthuli House, it's ANC, it's not government. When he's there in government, we expect him to deal with matters as the chief executive of the country. So, keeping Mkhunu in the NWC, yes, he must be in the NWC, he's an elected member. And unless otherwise, by any committee of the ANC, I wouldn't respond to Comrade Mavuso because I didn't listen to him. And if I may respond to something I've not listened to, I will attract something to my direction without engaging with the veteran. So I need to understand what he was raising and what he said. So I'm not going to respond to that because I didn't hear him, what he was saying and what he was, because sometimes media take clips and I don't get the context of what he was talking about. And I respond just to a clip. I wouldn't do that. I'd rather be furnished with a full response. And what was the context? Because context is everything. So say somebody else. Context is important in everything that everybody does. And then what salaries?
The two ministers of police.
No, there's not going to be two ministers of police. There's going to be one. You can ask the question. I've answered you. I said on the 1st of August, the president will answer that question. There's not two. There's one.
But salaries there too, Mr. Mbalula.
No, let me say, no. He says that, okay, let me explain to you.
Being on leave doesn't take away your salary.
Exactly.
No,
Can I explain again? And then let's not heckle. Yeah. I'm explaining to you again. The president says that there will be 2 weeks interim period and an acting minister will be appointed up until the 1st of August. Okay? So that's what is going to happen. 1st of August, a minister will be appointed, of course, from outside the legislature. Comrade Kachalia confirmed. He has agreed, that is done. On the 1st of August, the president in his speech did not address the question of appointments. How is he going to deal with the question you are asking? He will then address that in relation to implementing Section 91, subsection what?
See.
Yeah, C of the Constitution. And then address what happens to a person who is put on special leave. Okay? Now, where me and you we are today is what you are asking. Are we going to pay for 2 ministers of police? I'm saying no. The question that must be answered, what happens to Senzo whilst on leave? And that question will be answered by the president on the 1st of August. That is what I'm saying. So, as the ANC, the president have responded to the question of the inquiry that is required to address this situation, and we're looking forward to that, and we support the inquiry. We support the appointment of Minister Feroz Kachalia in terms of the responsibility as a minister. And we know that whoever will be appointed briefly for 2 weeks. In August 1st, there will be a new Minister of Police. So we support and we're encouraged by the decisiveness of the terms of reference of this commission. We all want results in terms of the commission, and we want this commission to finish its work within the shortest possible time. But the timeframes that are outlined are not unrealistic. We believe that they are realistic and they can be met, and then supported by results, given what has been outlined in the President's statement that after every 3 months, preliminary report with suggestions of what must actually happen. Not even suggestions, recommendations of what must be implemented with immediate effect. The minister is on leave with immediate effect. The president, up until he appoint the interim, I don't know whether today or tomorrow, when will that be announced? Maybe it is been announced as we are speaking now through a statement, I'm not sure. But that will last only for 2 weeks, and the right minister will take over. And on the 1st, the president and government will address the question of what happens after the interim period and the appointment of the minister. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, SG. And I see some people still want to engage. I think we will sleep here if we continue.
No, I have said that I cannot answer people who are implicated.
That was responded to.
I asked about ANC politicians. I said, do you know of any who are linked?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know who's linked to Mbalula and how.
Okay.
And then we've got a commission here that links Mbalula to various people, and the commission will address that. So that's it. The commission will address the issue of Mbalula and anyone who's mentioned, and even those that we don't know. Those who've got information and the capabilities of giving this information will provide to the commission.
Thank you very much. The SG had responded to those questions that he was being heckled about, but we come in peace, and thank you very much. You are early for the next press briefing. We are adjourned, colleagues. It's very late, and thank you very much for being here. Thank you, SG.
Thank you.
Thank you. So is this my thing?
Yes, we're going to
No, because we waited for this.
Actually, to
No, but the questions.